Hello, everybody. Welcome to your Daily Detroit live stream. It is Tuesday, February 10th. We're coming to you from our studio at Techtown. I am Jer Stays, and across the table from me is none other than the Prince of Brightmoor himself, Norris Howard. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. And, I just want to say we have been doing these a little bit later the past couple times so more people could join us. So if you are in the vehicle or you in the pickup line to get your kids from school, any of that, just sit the phone to the side. I know you want to see our beautiful faces, but it's okay. You can have us on audio only.
Drive safely.
Drive safely.
But do you know what you're not going to see out there? Not too much ice, because it's in the 40s.
You know what? And that just lets you know how bad it's truly been in Michigan. I mean, we're talking about subarctic temperatures for a number of days, almost 14 days in single digits with negative wind chill. And here we are. The week of Valentine's Day, we get 40-degree weather.
Lake Erie froze all the way across and then cracked down the middle.
Yeah.
That's how cold it was around here.
It was bad, man. It was bad. Erie gets a bad rap out of the Great Lakes. Now,
that's because it was on fire.
Well, yes. But, I mean, you can't get set on fire twice and keep a great reputation.
This is true.
It's like Chicago.
We had a great fire, too. It's part of our motto.
We
hope for better things. We shall arise from the ashes.
I mean, in the city flag is literally a depiction of the city on fire. So.
I saw something a while ago that maybe do a different city flag. And I mean, I like our flag.
I know
a lot of people do not, but I think we might, I don't know, the fire depiction.
I'm cool with it.
You're cool with it?
I'm cool with it, man. Listen, I love our flag because it pays homage to. Actually, we should add something to the busiest flag in America.
Why not? At this
because
point?
we have no native representation, so we should have some native representation, particularly the Potawatomi people of the region. But if we add that, then it's perfect because we got everybody else. Even the two ladies.
It's a maximalist.
It's two black ladies on the thing, so. It's great. We got two aunties in the seal. The city's on fire. It's great.
You're ridiculous. I appreciate you, though.
It's a great flag. I have that flag in my home right now, like nailed to the wall. Yeah, it's my favorite flag.
One of my favorite places to see the city emblem is on Belle Isle. There is a bridge over by the casino.
Yes.
That is red, but it has the embossed shields of the city. It looks super cool.
Also has the city on fire on that shield.
Because the city is fire.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Detroit is on fire.
It is fire. There you go.
That's exactly how we have to look at it.
There you go. But yeah, man. So, I want to talk about something though before we get deep into the show, and we got to talk about how I know for a fact that the Detroit Pistons are on their way to an NBA championship.
Okay,
at least a berth in the finals. I know it because there was a massive brawl involving the Pistons in Charlotte last night as of recording, and let me tell you, it brought all the feelings back. And I had just watched the Malice in the Palace documentary literally 2 days ago.
Listen, people get in their feelings about us talking about Malice in the Palace. Every time we talked about it on the show, we've gotten tons of mail. People are like, forget about it. Move on past it. Don't mention it.
That's because it was you suburbanites acting a complete ass. And it wasn't that many of us from the city. That was y'all. But the other night, it was the Charlotte Hornets who decided to act an ass. And, getting Jalen Duren's face. And I'm not sure if you've seen the size of Jalen Duren's arms, but that is not a man you want to fight. All right? And then they get in a fight and they start scrapping. And then if you're attacking one of the stars, Beef Stew comes in from off the bench.
Off the top rope.
Oh my God, that's Beef Stew's interest music. Like, that's what it was, man. He came in off the bench, put some guys in a headlock. Like, I'm not exaggerating. He literally ran in and put a man in a headlock. And by the way, I'm going to say this. If another grown man puts me in a headlock and I am not in a professional wrestling situation, that's it for me. You got to ship me off. I'm gone. Trade me.
Should we have Daily Detroit contributor wrestling?
I would love that.
A
would love
Lucci
that.
Libre.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great.
We have a
pay-
contributor behind the scenes named Luciano.
That's
we
a
call
great,
him Lucci.
great pay per view.
He'll be Lucci Libre.
Lucci Libre. That's a great pay per view name.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it was wild, man. But it just let me know the team came together. They look cohesive. Beef Stew's about to get banished to the Shadow Realm and suspended for about 55 games, but it's okay.
I'm going to mention this on the main recording, but is it 2006?
It's got to be. It's got to be. Listen, man, we got that. We got Justin Verlander pitching for the Tigers again, man. Like, what is this?
I
What
don't
is
even know.
this?
And then we've got this bridge thing.
And
I was up till 11 o'clock on the bridge. We arguing over the bridge again.
It's 2006.
It's 2006.
It's 2006.
Just cut it. Okay. What were you doing in 2006?
It was my first year out of high school. I was going to Henry Ford Community College and doing a bunch of nothing, actually. Like, I didn't respect it. I treated it like it was the 13th grade. And, but ended up, transferring to Wayne State later that year.
Because we went 10 years back.
Yeah.
So this is now 20 years back.
Yeah.
This is wow, my mind.
20 years ago.
Like if there could be, if producer Adam had the button for that animated,
Yeah, man.
it feels like in Detroit sometimes
2006.
time is a flat circle.
Hold on. What was the number one song in 2006?
That's a great question.
I'm searching right now. 2006. I don't even know who the hell this is. Okay. This is some asshole, but sorry. Daniel Powder.
Who?
I don't know. But we did have Promiscuous by Nelly Furtado. Oh, You're Beautiful by James Blunt.
You're beautiful.
Beautiful. We had Temperature by Sean Paul. Classic.
Bad Day, Daniel Powder.
Yeah. Oh, we got Hips Don't Lie from Shakira, one of the greatest music videos ever made.
Crazy, Gnarls Barkley.
Gnarls Barkley. That's
Yes.
another deep
Mary J.
cut.
Blige is on this list.
Yep. London Bridge by
Sexy
Fergie.
Back.
Let's see. This is. Do y'all hear that? Do y'all hear all that classic music that was out back then? Oh man, what a time!
SOS, Rihanna.
What a time! What a time!
Move Along, The American Rejects.
What a time, y'all! What a
Man.
time! And I got drunk to all of them.
Chasing. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I know I wasn't
Cha-
allowed to drink, but still.
All right, listen. As 8.5 by 11 fellow, Snow Patrol's Chasing Cars.
Snow Patrol. Wow.
Yeah, that was
talk
like
about
an
a-
anthem of those of us who were 8.5 by 11.
Talk about a reference I did not expect to hear waking up this morning. Snow Patrol. That's one. But yeah, man, that's it feels very 2006-ish right now.
Because of you, Kelly Clarkson. Oh, you know what? Nickelback, Photograph.
Look at this photograph. Oh my lord.
All American Rejects, The Dirty Little Secret.
Wow. Great song.
Nick Lachey is on this list.
Not Nick Lachey.
Lachey. Jamie Foxx featuring Ludacris with Unpredictable.
Unpredictable.
It scares me how many of these I know. Fall Out Boy, Sugar We're Going Down.
Oh man, the heyday of Fall Out Boy, man. Wow. But this is what I'm saying. This is stuff. This is culture.
Waiting on the World to Change. Another.
Yeah.
I've
been waiting on the world to change.
When I'm Gone was Eminem's track.
Yep. See, that's what I'm saying, man. This is good music. See, look, I'm even looking at some of these artists that had little hits, even in the top 10. Nelly, Paul Wall, Chameleonaire, Akon, D4L. Oh man, D4L. You had Laffy Taffy.
T-Pain.
T-Pain. Oh man, T-Pain. See, who is going to give us music that made us move in the same way as T-Pain?
I mean, T-Pain's still with us.
I know, but who's gonna do?
Don't vote T-Pain off the island.
I'm not voting him off the island. I'm just saying they don't make music that makes you move like that. It's because the Gen Zs, they don't dance. There's no dancing music. That's why it was so exciting to see Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl, because that's dancing music.
Everybody was mad because he was dancing. There was shaking of posterior, sir. Because apparently we're still having the same arguments we did when Elvis was on the stage.
Let me explain something to you, man. Everybody who was upset about any of that stuff proved one of two things. Either you proved you are super racist, or you proved you're not getting laid anytime soon. Just being for real, dude. Like, if that was your reaction to that halftime show, yeah, dog, it's over for you. Valentine's Day weekend, stay in the house, bro. Stay in the house. Ain't nothing out here for you. All right, no motion for you.
Wow. Well, today has been this week
It's been a week.
already, and it's only Tuesday as we're recording this.
Yeah, so
We've got a bunch of stories we're going to go through. So people know that are on the live chat, in case you have not been here before, we record our daily podcast. We do the edition with you and I, Mr. Howard,
that's right.
live in front of a non-studio audience here at Techtown. And we have a lot, because I've been up a lot the last few nights. I was up till like 10 o'clock last night answering questions, getting stuff out the door. Wrote a piece about what's happening on the bridge.
Yeah,
I gotta
long
stay up
night.
again. I gotta stay up again late tonight and get another thing out
Because more happened.
because more happened.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah, we're going to get into it in detail for the main show, and you guys will be able to check it out. But I do want to give some love to the chat. Stina, what's up? She says, Erie iced over helps Buffalo not get as much lake effect snow. It's true. It's true. So I'm sure the folks in Buffalo appreciated that.
I think, is it their city hall in Buffalo that's like absolutely bonkers?
Yeah.
Like bonkers.
Yeah. Yeah,
Beautiful.
it's like neo-Gothic or something like
It's
that.
ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. And Josh saying that he is in a team's training for now.
Well, skip it. No, it's like, yeah, the Buffalo. It's like it's a 32-story Art Deco building. It basically looks like a lot like the Fisher Building, only rounded at the top.
Kind of the same vibes.
Yeah. It's huge though. It's huge.
I don't know if producer Adam can quickly find it, but I don't think so. I mean, that's a big ask. Stina says that she shared yesterday's newsletter in a couple places. Thank you so much. That did. We had I was looking at the analytics, and I haven't seen 200 people on the site at once.
Oh, you just putting up some numbers.
Oh, it was not
Well,
Pistons numbers, but numbers.
It was it was ridiculous. And like I said, we're gonna get into it in detail. But just the fact that it's just like, dude, I'm sitting back, I'm at home, I'm thinking it's the end of my day,
Same.
and out of nowhere, this nonsense gets spewed. It's weird. Hold on, I think we got some background noise here. Hold on, let's check.
I don't know what it is.
Is it the War of the Worlds?
Oh, Adam's got the stuff up on the.
Okay.
Is it music or mechanical?
I think it's mechanical. I think it's somebody drilling something, but I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Buffalo City Hall.
Ridiculous. The inside's ridiculous too.
Yeah. See, it's when we used to build things, people. Look at that. Art Deco is also my favorite style of architecture.
Really?
So. Art Deco for large municipal buildings or large, skyscrapers and stuff. But for my home, give me a Frank Lloyd Wright.
I'm gonna go.
Give me a mid-century
We've got
modern
some
all
music
day.
on the background. I'm gonna go take care of it.
Yeah, give me a mid-century modern, man. Jared's going to check on some stuff. Yeah, man. Stuff. Okay. I'm also trying to gauge how far behind I am on the live stream, but it's all good. Is anyone watching? Am I watching the Olympics right now? Some. I'm watching some of the Olympics right now. That's beautiful inside of the city hall. Oh, Jared's coming back. What was that?
Music.
That was music?
That was music.
What the fuck were they
That was
doing?
that was a stereo blasting.
What were they doing?
I just didn't want a copyright strike.
I mean, I feel it. Anyway, yeah, am I watching the Olympics right now? Yeah, listen, I love all of the Olympics because nationalism is fun when it's just sports. Just sports. So I love the Olympics, and I love watching weird sports you don't see every day, like the luge.
I'm trying to think, wasn't there a luge track? Isn't there a luge track in Michigan?
Probably.
I think there's only a few luge tracks, though, in the country.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be shocked if one was up here at all. I don't know. It just looked dangerous as hell. It's not a thing I would try.
No.
Yeah. I would.
Although I did love the bobsled and, of course, Cool Runnings. The movie.
We crashed out already of bobsled. Literally, the U.S.
Oh, we did?
That was a massive crash. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not looking good for us. I think this may be one of our worst performances at the Olympics, like, of all time.
Did you see, was it Lindsey Vonn?
Yeah, how her knee exploded.
Ooh, I was worried that was going to happen because I follow her on social media and I thought, ooh, this. I don't know when I started to follow her, but I did. And I was like, she made this post and I was like, you're going on a torn ACL?
So, as someone who plays soccer, and knee injuries are very common in soccer. Like, dude, trying to do anything on even a strain or a small, like, tear, borderline impossible. Like, I don't even know. Like, you could walk around on it, but don't try to shift or change directions at all. Bro, I could not think about literally doing Olympic level downhill skiing on a bum knee.
Stina says broken tibia.
She got broken tibia. Was it compound? Because, I don't know, man. That crash looked bad.
It did. I watched it on TV.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it.
It looked real bad. But anyway, yeah, skeleton is even worse because that's luge going head first.
This all seems crazy to me.
That's why the Winter Olympics
All right.
is okay, Summer Olympics is like normal classic sports, right? Run, jump, shoot, throw.
I have a suggestion for you. We should do Detroit Olympics. For instance, Baldock Park on the lid of a garbage can. The Baldock Hill on the lid of a garbage can.
Okay, you could do that.
There's a variety of things that we could do.
You could do that. How quickly can you get out of the Michigan left? That's an event.
Oh,
what would be like the Detroit specific
we could do
events?
Jefferson Avenue Frogger, but get like big like football padded things so you don't get hit. Like you have to do a obstacle course, dodge traffic across Jefferson.
But it's got to be a summer event. It's got to be a summer Olympic event.
That's a summer event. That's a summer event.
Yeah, because on the winter it's not that busy. But summertime, trying to dodge traffic on Jefferson.
The dumpster vault.
Dumpster vault is another.
You got to vault over a dumpster of a house getting rehabbed. If you come up short, there's going to be a nail in your tail.
That's a good one, Jer.
Just in the air. Ashland bump jump on the east side.
You've thought about this.
Not just now.
You've thought about this.
Come on, wouldn't this be great?
It would be. Detroit Olympics, absolutely.
All kinds of Detroit things.
Absolutely.
Of course, we got to have the coney eating contest.
Coney eating contest. We got to see how long can somebody walk on the ice on the river before they get stopped by Coast Guard.
How many water bottles can you sell in an hour?
Yeah, right there on Mac and 75.
Yep.
Martin Luther King 75 right there. Yep. Right over there by the Velodrome.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different things that we can do.
Yeah.
Wrong way on the Lodge Dodge. Another automotive event.
Wrong way on the Lodge Dodge. And then, of course, you just got to have your Grand Boulevard Grand Prix.
Okay, so I did think about this. I was driving down Grand Boulevard thinking, wouldn't it be great to do this on dune buggies?
Yeah.
The reason being is that there's so many holes.
Well, yeah.
That Grand Boulevard is a disaster. Like parts of the roads, Gratiot's a disaster right now, whatever. But if you're in a dune buggy or something designed for it.
Yeah. Or a rally car.
A rally car could be very fun.
Yeah.
And you got to start at the island. Or do you start in Southwest and then you end at the island? You cross the bridge.
No, you do laps.
But then, okay, so do you loop and do the lap on Grand Boulevard, or you try to go down Jefferson?
Well, no,
'Cause-
Jefferson is part of it, but the most of it is still on the boulevard.
Oh,
But
see,
you
I
put
have, I have,
Jefferson
a, I have a
as
different idea. What if you, in order for better traffic flow, you looped it on the boulevard and you just did the turnaround on the island?
That's even better.
Like at that little thing?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
zip, and then back over the bridge.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah. I'm okay with all this.
This is going to be a huge course.
This is the best event.
People would
This
love
is
this.
this is the hallmark event.
We need the grand run. You could do a running event on it. You could also do the vehicle event on it. And
But don't fix any of the potholes, even for the running part.
no. And here's the thing, since we don't plow, and since we don't plow in the winter, it can be the cross country ski. It's all on Grand Boulevard.
We did it. Best Olympic events ever.
Oh, and you could do like the bus jump,
You could do a bus jump.
like it just straight off.
Yeah, you could do a bus jump. You could do a lot, man.
There's a lot you could do.
You do a lot. But anyway, we got a show to do.
We do have a show to do. Doctero says there's a guy in the city who rides backwards on his bicycle handlebars. I'm totally impressed. I've seen that person.
Dude, my chat is so behind. Like, I'm getting none of this.
Hit the live chat.
I did. Oh, you know what? That's my problem. I hit top chat, not live chat.
That's right. See, we're at a place in the world. Oh, by the way, it's in Muskegon.
Oh, the luge track?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So as I said, first time here, we record the show for tomorrow, live in front of all of you. Please feel free, ask questions, chatter away. We probably won't directly answer until after the show because we are recording this for audio. And if we're talking to chat in the middle of it, it's a little distracting to our listeners who are, driving around town, either catching us at lunch or catching us on the drive home tomorrow.
That's right.
So let's get into it. Everyone's got their rundowns. All right.
1 second. I gotta get situated.
Situated?
Now I'm good.
You good?
Yes.
Okay. And we are recording. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, friends, and welcome to Your Daily Detroit, sharing what to know and where to go in Southeast Michigan. It is Wednesday, February 11th, 2026. I am J.R. Stays, coming to you from our studio at the beautiful facilities at Techtown. Across the table from me is none other than returning contributor, Detroit royalty of his own, the Prince of Brightmoor, Norris Howard. How are you?
What's going on, everybody? And I just want to say, welcome to 2006. The Pistons are beating people up on the court. We got Justin Verlander with the Tigers, man. Like we're arguing over the bridge again. It's great.
This is absurd. It feels like time is a flat circle in the last 20 years with this.
It's all a construct, man. Everything that exists has existed and will exist in the future.
This is crazy to sign Verlander. I mean, maybe it'll be his last year. I think it's like a $13 million deal,
It's 1 year deal. He wants to retire here. He wants to get his number retired here, even though he abandoned us to go to the awful, dastardly Astros.
And got a World Series title.
I don't care.
I'm not mad.
I am.
I'm not mad.
I am.
We still need some bats, though. I want to say this is part of a big run. There's been some signings. There's been some actions. I want to feel like this is a run that we're going to go for it. I want to. I don't know. I doubt.
I want to
But
believe.
we have to get a bat. We have to get at least.
No, we need 2 more right-handed bats. But I want to believe in the Tigers. I've recently spent my money with them. With me and my dad, we're splitting a season ticket package.
What?
Yes.
All right.
So I'll be at these games quite often. I do have opening day tickets. It'll be the first time I'll be going to opening day in like 15 years. So it's going to be like Streets of Rage, dog. Like, it's literally going to be like Final Fight. I'm going to have to fight my way out of Comerica because that is what opening day is like, okay? It is like an episode of Power Rangers. You know how they go in the quarry and they fight with the putties and stuff? Like, that is what opening day is to me. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm back in the gym. It's great.
People feel a certain way about the Pistons fights. I know in the past when we've talked about Malice in the Palace, we'll get stacks of email that we're not being positive enough.
That's because it was everybody in the suburbs fighting. Why is it different? It's no different. It's no different. It's okay. Listen, let me tell you something. A good fight can be exciting. All right. Every now and then, here's what I believe. I believe once or twice in every person's life, you should have had or have a fist fight. You want to know why? Because I truly believe this. Because first of all, I think number one, you got to learn that it's consequences for your actions. So some people ain't learned that yet till they get hit in the face. And then the second part about it is you got to know how to defend yourself at all times. You never know when it might just pop off. And you got to get ready. So I think everybody should have experienced at least one fist fight in their life.
Daily Detroit does not officially condone violence and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I hear you.
Yeah. I didn't say instigate one.
Oh, so you're saying if it came for you.
Yeah. Don't back down. Stand your ground.
And we were talking off air about the 2006 songs, although I don't think Tom Petty was in that, because when you say don't back down, all of a sudden I was thinking about Tom Petty. But man, there was so many. Think about all the music of 2006.
Oh man, you definitely had, Rihanna was in the mix, and you had Fergie and Shakira was still around making hits. Man, it was a lot of stuff going on. What was the one that we found out? I was about to say Matchbox 20. Nickelback. Photograph was that year.
Yeah. There's a lot of other options. I mean, I would go with like Snow Patrol or like there's a bunch of other stuff I'd pick other than Nickelback. Fallout Boy. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, we're back in time, everybody. But we do have some real news to share today. So thanks for listening, but let's talk news.
We will after we pay a quick bill. Will you let me do that, Mr. Howard? All right. I want to tell you about something happening this weekend you will not want to miss, thanks to our friends at Detroit City Distillery. It's Punchki season in Metro Detroit, a time of freezing temperatures, occasional snow, and delightfully buttery, crispy, creamy pastries known as Punchki. Detroit City Distillery, known for its cult favorite Punchki Day vodka, a limited release spirit distilled with real Punchki sourced from Hamtramck, will once again host its annual Punchki Day party this Saturday, February 14th, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. This year's celebration will be bigger than ever, featuring more activities and vendors made possible by the move to the distillery's brand new event space, 100 proof, located at 1000 Gratiot Avenue in Detroit. Admission is free and open to the public. Guests must be 21 or older to purchase or consume alcohol. Highlights include live music by the Crampton Brothers, a Polish ice luge, live ice carving, shotski, Punchki Day spirits for sale, including original raspberry, orange cream, Poland by Detroit, Polish Daisy bottled cocktail, and Jezionowka bourbon. New Punchki Day merchandise, appearances by Mr. Punchki Head, Norris, Mr. Punchki Head, and Polish food by Schrodek's Campau, Quality Sausage Company, and other favorites. If you want to learn more, head on over to DetroitCityDistillery.com. That's DetroitCityDistillery.com. And see you on Saturday from 10 to 6.
All right.
That's a lot.
It's a lot going on. You want to get your pushkis?
We've been to 100 proof.
Yeah, we have been.
We had a good time at 100 proof, completely unrelated to this.
Yeah, and that special whiskey they gave us has been long gone.
Oh, that's right.
Gone.
You enjoyed it?
It was delicious.
I
it was
bet.
great. So, yeah, if you ain't doing nothing else, check it out. We'll be there, hanging out.
There is some food news.
Oh, snap.
A long-time Detroit establishment is no longer with us, according to a post from them on social media.
Yeah, man. One of the hallmarks of the West Side for the better part of a decade plus, Cuzzo's announced this week that they are shutting their doors, ending a 11-year run. And you know what? A lot of people have mixed feelings about Cuzzo's, but I have overwhelmingly positive ones. I have always had a good time. I've actually hosted events at Cuzzo's before, and they were very, very welcoming, very gracious. And Cuzzo's was one of the sort of first things that made it feel like Detroit was kind of about to start this comeback that was outside of this downtown, midtown core, right? Avenue of Fashion, even though I still would not consider it, quote unquote, all the way back. But Cuzzo's was one of those anchor tenants on Livernois that really made people feel like this was a place that the whole city could go to. The whole city was going to enjoy it. And for the most part, they did. But you know, I guess they just couldn't stand the rain anymore. And really, let's be honest, just the overhead for restaurants has increased, you know, quite a bit over the past couple years, especially post COVID. And now we throw the tariffs on top of that. It was probably incredibly rough.
Yeah. I think about its next door neighbor that friend of the show ran over at Narrowway Cafe. Beautiful mural they installed next to it, rooting for everybody black.
Yep.
Beautiful mural. I stayed over near there for a while, and there is just an energy there that's just really cool that I hope continues. But, you know, there's been a lot of change over there lately. There's been some successes, don't get me wrong. I think 313's over there, right? Mm-hmm. Few other places. So, like,
Yeah, they got Bucharest over there.
I don't want to paint this as an all negative story, but it also is kind of like, it's tough to see.
It's tough to see, particularly when you see other businesses over there doing fairly well. I mean, that, to be fair, that's my favorite Bucharest in the city, is the one on Livernois. So, like, you know, you got Coney's and restaurants over there that have been doing well. You got one of the most, I mean, Avenue of Fashion is sandwiched between really 3 of the most stable neighborhoods in the entire city.
And right next door to Ferndale.
Yeah, and right next to Ferndale. So, you know, you got a lot of opportunity there. It's down the street from Baker's. I mean, it is a historic thoroughfare in the city. And just Cuzzo's was cool because even just the design of it was very different. And, you know, you could see it and it was very recognizable from no matter which direction you approached it from. And, you know, it just sucks, man. And we continue to see a lot of restaurants, not just in the city, but nationwide, continue to struggle, you know, as the cost of everything just keeps going up.
Can I shout out another place that was really great for chicken and waffles that is no longer with us? New Center Eatery.
You know, I do remember doing it. Now, as a West Sider, a staunch West Sider, I was definitely more Cuzzo's than New Center Eatery.
Of course you were.
But losing them both is devastating.
Yeah, that was the go-to place for me, being east side and around downtown.
Yeah.
For that Sunday morning brunch or whatever, because they just nailed it. We're around for a super long time, and then just that was one of the ones the pandemic really knocked out.
The pandemic hurt them bad, yeah. So it's rough to see, unfortunately. But I hope the ownership can, you know, maybe pop up and do something else. But most of all, I hope somebody can take that spot on Livernois and continue to turn it into something cool, because the Avenue of Fashion is a great spot, and I want to see every bit of retail space over there filled up and thriving.
You know, we lost over the weekend Parks Barbecue in the North End. There's a number of other places like that that have been struggling a little bit. I want to add on to that conversation and say, if you're going out for chicken and waffles or some of that stuff, where are you going right now?
Yeah.
Where are you going for that right now? City or suburb? And I'm putting that out to the crowd. So Daily Detroit
You
at
do
Gmail.
fixins. You do fixins.
Definitely.
You do fixins. That's probably where I will go.
Well, I want to hear from people. DailyDetroit at gmail.com or 313-789-3211. Let's talk a little bit of development news. Cranes Detroit reports that developer Reno Suave is pivoting from apartments to hotel use for the historic Park Avenue building overlooking Grand Circus Park. They say their plans show more than 100 rooms, a first-floor restaurant space, and various amenities. This building was bought by Suave in 2018. There was originally going to be apartments there. I think this shows, yet again, another pivot toward hotel space. We saw this with what's happening in Midtown. There were apartments there in Midtown in that old Union headquarters building, the old Carpenters and Millwrights building. That's being switched over. It really feels like we're moving from a residential market to a hotel market in the city, and that, unfortunately, look, I want to see more residents. I want to see more supply, because I think that will help lower costs. But we're seeing more and more move towards a hotel market, and it's kind of wild to see, Norris Howard.
Yeah, it is wild to see. I mean, listen, the population growth, or there has been population growth in Detroit, but not to the clip that, you know, I think there should be, you know, mass expansions and building of residential units. We just haven't seen it quite yet. However, there's a big thing that we need to acknowledge when it comes to this, and a big reason why I think you are seeing people transfer over to hotels is that you're probably going to see a reduction in rooms at the Renson And we got some big
For a while.
stuff for a while. And we got some big stuff coming up. Obviously, they said in the press release that the Marriott will be open for the Final Four that's supposed to happen next year. But after that, those rooms are going to be offline.
Yeah, they're going to be remodeled.
They're going to be completely remodeled, and the entirety of the RenCen is going to start to look very, very different. Okay, that customer base has to go elsewhere. And right now, we don't have the hotels to accommodate that. Now, on the other side, I think this is personally somewhat short-sighted. I get it. Hotels make a lot more money than residential, and I think sometimes we got to acknowledge that. But it doesn't long-term make the situation better, in my opinion.
Did it, as a longtime downtown resident, has it kind of surprised you a bit with how much of a staycation crowd we've built?
We do. We have a lot of that. And I think it's very interesting because it used to be, when people came home for the holidays, that, there was a, hotel somewhere, there was a Marriott or extended stay or a Holiday Inn or something, if you didn't want to stay at your parents' house, that, out in Warren somewhere or, anywhere in the suburbs. But now you're starting to see really not just people staying downtown, but kind of like the whole family turning it into a thing. Like for the holidays, you saw tons of people coming to the Shinola Hotel, going to the Cambria, going to the one out there on Michigan Avenue. So you saw a lot of people kind of having these staycations, and you're continuing to see that throughout the year. And as a downtown resident, to me, listen, energy in the city is good. Any energy, extra energy in the city is good. But I do wish we had more of that neighborhood vibe with more people living down there. I want to see, I want it to be 6 p.m. and it's everybody's just walking around. I mean, I could watch it from
That
my
happens,
window.
but that happens on a nice day on the weekends.
It does, but I want it to be Tuesday. Like some days I want it to be Tuesday and busy. Like I do. I really like that energy, particularly in the summertime when one of the festivals is going on. You get to be able to see kind of people move and shake around. So ultimately, listen, I get the economic reason why landowners or builders are doing this, but yeah, I wish more of it was residential. Absolutely.
I'm curious what you think. 313-789-3211 or dailydetroit@gmail.com. We're going to zoom out a little bit with the news. We're going to hop around a little bit here. And, I'm going to recue that. 3, 2, 1. Now, Norris, I'm going to give you the opportunity to talk yourself up a little bit here.
Okay.
The reason being is that, as we said might happen on the show, another Detroit neighborhood is now adopting a business improvement zone. And next is Rivertown. This has been confirmed. The Rivertown biz includes 297 commercial parcels and is expected to generate about $850,000 annually and nearly $10 million over 10 years for the support of the neighborhood between the Detroit riverfront and Larned, between Rivard and Grand Boulevard. So this is very near my spot. This is the third biz in Detroit following the West Verner and Springwells Business Improvement District. That would be the state's first biz, managed by the Southwest Detroit Business Association, and the Downtown Detroit biz, established in 2014, managed by the Downtown Detroit Partnership. The DDP, the Downtown Detroit Partnership, will actually be providing additional services as part of this biz in partnership, additional garbage pickup, cleaning, all that kind of stuff, which will help move some of that off of the city's books, makes it a little bit better, delivers a level of service that the city can't provide in all reality. And very interesting to see.
Listen, I'm tired of being right. Actually, I'm not. Let me take that back.
And let me tell you, some community leaders were real mad at you for suggesting this. In fact, some of them argued on the air right here.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, listen, Detroit is in a situation in which if we want to continue to foster growth, if we want to continue to foster communities that continue to thrive and get investment, it's going to have to be through private-public partnership, which is essentially what this is. And, we've suggested on this very show that maybe the neighborhoods that are stable should have their version of downtown Detroit partnership, right? Like Maybe they are not just block clubs, because I know that many of the neighborhoods, including the neighborhood I grew up in, has a series of block clubs. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about nonprofits or incorporations specifically made to be able to generate revenue, to be able to go out and get grants, to be able to do things like trash pickup in addition to what the city already does, and continue to sort of beautify the city and continue to get investment within it. Because listen, we got to be honest here, y'all. Just like in the previous story, we got to do more to get people to move to the city. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is to be able to continue to provide neighborhoods that people want to live in. You're starting to see it. You see it with Courttown. You see it with Midtown. You see it with downtown. You see it with Sherwood Forest. You see it with University. You see it with East English Village. You see it with the Indian Village. So you see there are these pockets everywhere, and it's not just white folks. It's not just black folks. It's all kind of folks living everywhere. But a lot of those places that I named have these sort of public-private partnerships that allow development to continue to thrive.
And will encourage more development to happen. So I'm going to say something that I don't mean as like a knock on the current administration, because this happened during the last administration. In fact, I directly asked mayoral candidates about this. But the truth is, on my east side block, there are stray dogs every other day. My dog is barking at dogs outside every other day. Most people, I've been around the city for a while. My partner used to live in Palmer Park, has been in the city for a while. She had a place where her wall fell off. She was in one of those apartments that were outlier reported on, that was going to hell.
Yeah.
She lived in one of those and had her wall fall off. Okay. So I've dealt with this, right?
Yeah.
Most people aren't going to do that.
No.
That's just being like, is it gentrification, or is it just having basic stuff?
Basic stuff, man. I mean, listen, I moved downtown and ended up paying $550 more in rent when I first moved on my own, because my ceiling fell in on my unit in New Center. And by the way, no one fixed it for like a month, right? It just didn't get fixed. Sure, I made complaints, did the photos, did all this stuff. Didn't happen. And it didn't happen because the city did not have the means to enforce it. Right? The things get done when the city has the means to enforce building code, to enforce renters' rights, to enforce all of this stuff. It just didn't. It couldn't.
Well, and that's one of the challenges still, if you look at some recent reports that I've been following up on for a special episode of the show, is that although we have high rates, we have such a narrow base that we are pulling money from. As I've said before, we get more money from casinos than we do property taxes. Right. It's a very, very narrow base that we're pulling from. And so that makes things very constrained. So that's why I think about, things like this biz being a net positive, because this area that can invest in itself, and then the city can say, okay, much like they did with Belle Isle, put the money towards parks in the neighborhoods, be able to do some things with it.
I mean, we still don't have not one neighborhood at critical mass. We don't have not one.
Would you say not even University District?
No.
University District's pretty together.
Yeah,
Palmer Woods.
But I wouldn't call. When I say critical mass, I mean we can't go anywhere. There's nowhere to develop. There's nothing else that we can do here outside of what is already here. And there's still opportunity. There's still land not being used in the University District that can be used for something else, mostly residential.
Right.
So, in my opinion, based on most of the neighborhoods I've been to, University is probably, I will put top 3 to say, like, okay, there's kind of not much more we could do. But there's no neighborhood that's at critical mass in Detroit that couldn't take room of, some row housing or some 401, as much as people hate 401s. I'm just saying you could make 401s. But there's room to develop, and that's what this Rivertown Business Improvement Zone is supposed to try to foster. In addition to, we got to also mention that within this zone will also be the new WNBA practice facility and all the stuff surrounding that. So they're going to have a built-in sort of anchor tenant, so to speak, to hopefully foster even more development.
This is not in the rundown, but it makes me think about a story I read recently. Over in West Village, there are a couple of houses that are very old. I want to say 1800s. And there's a developer who also did the who wants to build something out, but residents are very much against it, saying, well, we need to fix these old houses. What he's actually proposing is that he will like literally give away the houses if you move them to somewhere else. And it's interesting to see that tension over there between change and like development when, like, to me, especially in certain parts, not all, I'm not saying like take one of the mansions, tear it down and put a bunch out, but in empty spaces, they're right on Van Dyke or something like that. It's crazy to me to not find different ways to have these opportunities for more people to live so that we have more supply so rents go down.
So like Jefferson, like the Jefferson
The
is
old big boy spot.
Yeah, is the main thoroughfare here, right along this development zone, and not like there's plenty of vacant land right on Jefferson. Some of it is going to be used for some things. We've reported on them, but yeah, like you said, the old big boy right there at East Grand Boulevard in Jefferson, like right there, prime real estate. Like everybody who goes to Belle Isle has to just look at this ugly ass empty lot with nothing there in one of the most beautiful areas of the city. Like, how is this forgivable?
I want to shout out, though, something a little fun, a memory that some folks have been around the city for a while will know. And you probably know this too. That big boy was the soul food big boy. That was the soul food buffet big boy. And I'm literally stepping over my words because it was special.
It was special. And, you know, I know a lot of people who were very upset when it was torn down and when it closed. Like, people, there's opportunity. And there's opportunity to do this intelligently, equitably, and in a way that allows people to fulfill their dreams of ownership or just living within a city. And so I'm for stuff like this. Again, if we can continue to move in the right direction of population growth and tax base growth.
All right, let's end the show on your thoughts, Norris Howard.
You sure?
Well, so this is something I've been actually spending the last couple of days covering. If you listen to the podcast feed, you will know that we had a great conversation with the engineers of the Gordie Howe Bridge on Monday, right?
Oh, yeah.
We aired that. I recorded it, the Detroit Policy Conference, edited it, put it up. Not just a couple hours later, the president of these United States goes and talks about how we need to rearrange the deal and goes out with basically a list of grievances based on false information, or he's just making up stuff.
Yeah.
About renegotiating the deal between Canada and the United States around the Gordie Howe International Bridge. I have literally done an essay episode on it. You can go on the feed. I'm not going to rehash it all, but basically he wants us to own half of a bridge that we already own half of, and talks about a bridge that Canada paid for. You know, they put the money up front, and they're trying to recoup the money with tolls.
With tolls, yes.
And then he says, well, that's not a good enough deal either. So I want your thoughts after I share the latest news as we have recorded. The Detroit News reports that the White House wants a cut of toll revenue that's being used to pay off Canada's investment in the bridge. And I'm going to quote something here that I find very interesting because I alluded to this. You, in another piece for somewhere else, alluded to this. But I think we have a little bit of a smoking gun here about some of our reasoning. The official also noted that the 97-year-old Ambassador Bridge, which is privately owned by, quote, an American family-run business, unquote, the Maroon family, already connects the U.S. and Canada upstream from the Gordie Howe Bridge. I will note that these are billionaires who are a big part of this whole saga, which we've covered for multiple episodes. We had journalist Andrew Lapin on the show. We've beaten this one to death. But somehow, because apparently it is 2006 again, we're still having this conversation. I want to share the latest news and the latest comment, which is not surprising to me, considering the amount of support that the Maroon family has made of Republican candidates and the Trump administration. Norris Howard.
Okay. Let me just say two things I want people to understand. Number one is that what the president was talking about in terms of tolls is a grand total of, at best, $30 million. So right now the Ambassador Bridge gets about 60 million in tolls, roughly, approximately. In the best case scenario, let's split that 50-50.
When you
Right.
could also say the market may get bigger because it's easier to get across.
Easier to get across, who knows? But let's say year one at best, we split it in half 50-50, right? 30 million apiece. We are potentially ruining continuing to ruin a trade relationship with Canada over $30 million. That is nothing in the grand scheme of international trade. $30 million goes over the bridge in product in a matter of days. Days. Okay? So that's not it. What this is about is that we've had a president, and I have no fear in saying this, is that right now we have a president who is doing a favor. That's what this is. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it because
It looks like
math.
In my opinion, it looks like it to me.
The math does not math. So I can't say unequivocally because I wasn't in the room, but I could say on the outside that this looks like a favor to the Maroon family.
But let's also look at the track record. This is a group that bankrolled a whole ballot initiative, a whole failed ballot initiative
to stop this
bridge. This is a family that bought up homes and created huge vacant spaces in Southwest Detroit and Windsor to stop this bridge.
They
literally started building a second. They made a ghetto, and then they built a second part of a bridge that never got used to stop this bridge. This is how obsessive they are with this.
Mm-hmm.
So this does not surprise me that they would continue this, in my opinion.
No, and it further is ridiculous because the trade situation with Canada was started by the administration in the first place. Like, this will be very different if this was the first flashpoint, right? Like, let's remove everything around and say if this was the first flashpoint, maybe there might be a leg to stand on here to say, hey, there's about to be a brand new bridge opening. I feel like the deal that we're getting is not great, even though it's a great deal because Canada paid for it.
And also a deal that he signed off on.
That he signed off on, by the way. So Canada's paying for the bridge. All they ask is for a portion of the toll revenue, which, by the way, not even all, a portion of the toll revenue after they've already built the bridge, and the bridge is about to open up in a matter of days. And now we jump in because China is going to stop hockey. That is in his post. China will end all ice hockey in Canada if we don't stop this deal. They will cancel the Stanley Cup. That is a direct quote.
With the NHL based in New York?
I don't know how Canada or China would do that, but okay.
I went line by line through the entire thing because I have nearly 10 years of notes from covering this story. And it is insane to me. Now, there is one thing. You look at the dairy tariffs. That's something we can definitely look at. But there's a lot of caveats to that if you dig into it, more than just the headline gonzo journalism bullshit that is out there, right? If you look into it and see where it's actually at, it's a whole nother thing. How?
No, here's what I want to say. And Jared, before we got on to the live, you said this, and I want you to elaborate for the people because this is really important. People invest. Part of why people invest in Detroit, obviously they love the city or they feel like they want to be a part of it, but part of why you invest in Detroit is because Detroit is one of the largest cities on an international border in the hemisphere. The whole hemisphere, okay? Not just America, the whole hemisphere. One of the number one international trade thoroughfares in the world. One of the top trade thoroughfares in the world. This is part of why you invest in Detroit. And when you have an administration that is trying to stymie that trade, one of the claims to fame to the city, the ramifications of such will affect much more than the truck drivers and the people who work at the bridge and the people who work for the big three. Like, I want everybody to really think about what this does when you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars in international trade being slowed for no real reason.
Let's talk about Detroit. Let's talk about Metro Detroit. Let's talk about Oakland County. Let's talk about Macomb County. We forget about how important Macomb County is to,
Monroe County.
but manufacturing, all those things, the rest of Wayne County. Let's talk about the whole state of Michigan, which is extremely vulnerable to this entire tariff prattling on that's happening right now. Okay. This is the kind of thing that a sane investor looks at and goes, if one guy can tripwire everything with these major projects, that is a broken system.
I want no parts of it.
And I want no parts of it. And there are plenty of reasons that people don't want to deploy their money here right now. And this is not just a Detroit thing. I know you say the city of Detroit, we cover the city of Detroit, but this is a wider issue.
Yeah.
We need to get to sanity. This is not sustainable. And I've been reading the book 1929 by Andrew Ross Sorkin. And one of the things that I really see in that is that everything's fine until it's not.
Right.
I'm not the kind of person who's going to be like, this is the thing that tanks it, or this stat's going to pull us over the edge. But you know what? In my reporting, when I see Michigan had the most job losses in the whole Midwest by a factor of 10,
Second in the whole country.
and second in the whole country, that's not good, man. And this isn't about like conservative, like this is, yes, it is to an extent, but also like, can we be adults about
But
this?
also, when people get laid off, nobody's going to be looking at how you voted when they lay you off.
Right.
That's what I want people to realize, right? Like when we're talking about this stuff, they're not about to go through your voter rolls, even though they tried to get those too this week. But they're not about to go through your voter rolls when they lay you off. And that's how all of this is connected. That's how all of this works. Even to all of our listeners out in wonderful Washtenaw County and Ann Arbor and all the wonderful R&D people that come from University of Michigan, guess what? It's going to be a lot less job opportunities for you if stuff like this keeps happening.
You know, this state voted for Trump twice, and this is how we're treated. We got to think about that as Michiganders.
You said it, not me.
This is how we're treated.
You said it, not me. That's all I'm gonna say. You said it, not me. But you know, y'all, I implore you to remove your red or blue caps and really think about what's happening to our state right now. Really think about what's happening in our state. Really think about your family members that probably have been laid off in the past few months.
There are a number of business leaders, including one that was a former ambassador that we saw at the Detroit Policy Conference, yell about how important it was that we had data centers and all these other things. You know, people who have always known that this could happen, we're not going to get listened to. But it's incumbent on people like them,
Yeah.
who have that access, to make some phone calls,
Yeah.
right? Because they're not going to listen to they're not going to listen to the middle or the left.
No, it's the money.
You know, so
It's the money, and that's what we see now.
things need to change. This at some point, I don't know when, and I'm not going to try to predict it, but that's the thing from that book that I got away, is that human nature is the same, and you can't like create new laws to try to wrangle human nature, and people are going to believe everything's fine until it's not. And I want us to be successful, and I want us to do well, and this is the kind of thing, like, I don't want to be talking about this.
Really
But we
don't
have
either.
to.
Like, I don't either. I want us to be talking about like cool stuff. Like, I want to be talking about art galleries and restaurants and concerts and art installations and murals and all the beautiful culture and wonderful people that Metro Detroit has and all the great things that we're poised to do. But it becomes more difficult to do that when you see such simple stuff. I mean, you're talking about Canada and Detroit very unequivocally. Both sides said, another bridge, why not? I was tired of being stuck on the bridge. That sucks. Let's have two. Unequivocally.
You know, lots of places have more than one bridge. It's a crazy thought.
Most places have more than one bridge.
I'm going to leave that there. Of course, your feedback is always welcome. Keep it respectful. 313-789-3211 or dailydetroit@gmail.com. All right, we are going to wrap this episode up for today. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We really appreciate you. We also really appreciate our members on Patreon. Patreon.com/Daily Detroit helps keep this alive, keep us thriving, keep us doing this thing, being a fierce, independent voice, calling balls and strikes as we see them, based in the facts, and of course, fearlessly defending where we live and our community and pushing it forward. For now, I am Jer Stace.
And I'm Norris Howard.
Thank you so much for listening. Remember that you are somebody, and we'll talk soon. Whew. Okay, chat. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, man, y'all got active. See, yeah, doing this later seems to get y'all activated. But let's scroll back up and see what the people are saying.
Yeah, there's actually a bunch of people on. Welcome, everybody, especially new folks. Bat D2, there is Boulevard Brunch House that opened just down the street from New Center
That
Eatery.
is correct.
Okay, I've been. I got thoughts.
Okay.
One time, really great. One time, missed completely.
That's always
It's a 50-50 shot.
That's a crapshoot. Yeah, that's rough.
And it was like $50.
Yeah.
So it was 50-50. Look, I know that they served really well and they like really want to make it go, but the same dish was a different dish the second time I went.
Yeah.
So I say you could definitely check it out. I find it to be inconsistent, but I'm definitely open to trying it again. And I'm not going to throw it out because definitely that's in the old City Wing spot.
Yeah.
Let's see. Apparently, we have more alpine skiing medals already than we got in Beijing total.
Yeah, but we're 5th in the medal count. 5th.
Stina likes to look for the positive.
I look for the real.
D.E. Gifford. Hello, how are you? Huge hotel gap between downtown and Roseville, Royal Oak, Dearborn. Hoping more hotels will drive price down. Detroit is expensive per night. Okay, so you're going to see more in Dearborn. That's for sure.
You are for sure.
Because that's getting redone. In fact, I was just seeing some stuff about the new the rotating restaurant coming back in that one. Devin will know all the details when he comes
All
on.
Hyatt.
Yeah, Devin will have a ton of details when he comes on the show later this week. That ties in something else that me and the D said would like to see a hotel near Palmer Park. It would be really interesting. This is where if we had better transit, this would be really great.
Yeah.
Because I think about the last time I stayed in Chicago, a Palmer Park hotel could be really interesting if you've got to go to Royal Oak or downtown.
Yeah.
But without transit, you've got to do something different with it. People also really like amenities right next to them.
They do. You want to be able to walk.
So Palmer Park is such a, first off, they've done an amazing job rehabbing the park. It's going to look even better this year. I wish there was the business case and money to go into those older buildings because that whole neighborhood could be fixed up in a way where you've got coffee shops.
Can I just hit you with the real?
Yeah,
It's right next to Highland Park, doggy.
I know.
I hate to put it that way, but like that will always be the sort of limiter on Palmer Park. Like you'll be able to beautify Palmer Park all you want and put stuff in Palmer Park and you know within that area right there around the park and around the old golf course and all that, you'll be able to put all kind of stuff over there. But in order, like connecting it to the rest of sort of, you know, the greater Woodward corridor, I mean, until we figure out what's going on with Highland Park, that will always be a barrier.
It is a challenge because when I stayed in the University District, you go down to 6 Mile, and it's still pretty decent in that neighborhood over by the college. But the closer
So
you
you
get
hit
to
Hamilton.
right until you get to when you get closer to Woodward, it fades off real fast.
Yeah, once you hit Hamilton, like once you pass Minjo's, like it's
Well,
a,
and
it's a
we have a listener connection to the show who unfortunately had a problem between the Coney Island and the Menjos over there. He was the guy who got hit.
yeah. It's
So-
rough over there.
But yes, there is a hotel gap. There definitely could be more things. You know, I'm gonna throw out the suburbs here. Royal Oak could really knock it out of the box with some of this stuff.
That kind of is my thing too.
They really
'cause,
could
like,
do well with this.
There's only one hotel really in
is there one?
downtown.
Is there one? Yeah.
In downtown Royal Oak.
There's a lot they could do right there because it's centrally located. No matter whoever you're visiting in the region.
Yep.
Maybe something could be a little bit less money, or there's a lot of stuff to do down there. None of
there's-
it's perfect, but
There's no space. That's the problem.
you could build next. But Royal Oak has shown that they're willing to build next to and build up.
yeah, they're willing to, but not without pulling teeth. Come on.
A lot of those buildings got done faster than we did here in the
They
city.
sure did. They sure did.
Just
That's a
being
good
hot,
point.
keeping
That's a
it-
good
keeping it a buck.
point.
D. Gifford would love to see those pre-war buildings next to BWW on Randolph turned BWW, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Buffalo Wild
Took
Wings.
me a second. I would love to. Bedrock, I think, owns those.
Yeah, they do.
They bought the Hot Sam's.
Yep.
I used to go to Hot Sam's.
Yep.
That whole thing. Bedrock owns all of that.
Yeah.
So they've got the money. I think they're waiting for those streetscapes to be done.
They're waiting for the streetscapes, and also
Monroe.
Monroe. Yeah, is not it. Well, it's just got finished. So
You know who's there. You know who's here. You know who we got to give a shout out to.
Mr.
Duckett. Good afternoon, good people. Good
What's
afternoon
up,
to you.
my guy?
Stina, referencing our density question, Corktown is getting close, at least south of Michigan, but there's still a lot of space there too. There absolutely is a lot of
Dude,
space.
there's space on Michigan. Like
You know
that.
what?
That's the thing. See, to me,
so
that's
you got the also on Michigan, and you got that old state building,
yeah.
and you got the parking lot across from the state building.
Yeah. Like that's my thing. Is like if we don't even have full density on the major thoroughfare, like not even just talking about the back streets, not just talking about the side residentials. I'm talking about if we don't have full saturation on the commercial corridor, nowhere near full saturation.
Me and the LPD put out a report on 20% of funds that are designated for specific things were not used. They can't say for sure if it went back to the general fund. Sorry, I'm spamming the chat. LPD. Clear that out. I'm trying to remember what that is. Mia also says Van Dyke or Mound needs a Walmart. And then the chat, y'all went at each other.
I would feel so great.
Stina says if we want big box, at least do Meyer.
I don't want either.
But lots of people do want a Walmart.
I would love for Walmart to never be here.
Interesting.
Would I prefer Meijer over Walmart? Yes, I would. Yes, I would, because at least Walmart's a Michigan brand. Like if I can never, ever, and I will repeat myself, ever see Walmart ever again, I'd feel great.
It is so interesting being in like the social bubble that I am, and then when I'm out there talking to folks, it always is a reminder that like lots of people want those big chains, and that's something a lot of people feel like they really need.
We should have a big chain. I mean, we're a big city. We should have a big chain. I just don't want at Walmart ever.
D.E. Gifford, the lot at Jefferson Grand Boulevard should be a 5/1 with a first floor beach shop like they have in Florida, selling souvenirs, t-shirts, towels, swimsuits, ice, etc.
So, theoretically, I would agree, but actually, I would want to put that store on the island.
Okay.
I want that store on the island.
This is a deep memory cut. I may have been imbibed. Okay? Or have imbibed a substance.
Uh-huh.
But I remember years ago, Mount Elliott Park,
Okay.
there is that cool looking but kind of disheveled apartment building that's right next to that park there, the one with the splash pad.
Yes.
And it's really cool looking with a water tower on it.
Yeah.
There are retail spaces on the bottom of that. And I got beach supplies at some random shop and a towel
Cool.
years ago along there, over there by Iron Street.
Yeah. Oh, that's the east side, boy.
I didn't even know. I don't think that shop exists. I'm just saying. And
Yeah.
this is a very fuzzy, possibly smoky memory.
Yeah.
Mr. 1213, good to see you, as always. The governor need to really grab Trump by the collar and shake some sense into him.
She don't wear out. She don't care.
I mean, it's possible.
I mean, listen, maybe not, but to be honest with you, I think at this point she's just trying to keep her head down and not get involved in stuff.
Mia says legislative policy division. Thank you. I should have known that, but yes, thank you. So 20% of the funds were designated for specific things we're not used and can't say if it went back to the general fund. Interesting. I want to see that report. I would love to go through that report.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person who would actually read that. I'd be very fascinated.
We would read that.
It's really hard with some of these things, especially with because animal control is brought up. Mm-hmm. Like we have so little resources for that because we should have 24/7 and we should have humane animal control. But
it's hard to do. Like
It's really
again, the funds have to be specified for like the bare essentials, and unfortunately, animal control is pretty low on the list when you think about making sure people's pipes, water mains don't break.
But this is where density comes in Because
yeah, 'cause
if there's
now
a
it'd
lot
be
more
paid
people,
for.
but also if there's a lot more people on the block, there's a lot more eyes on the block. There's a lot more people who might grab. I wanted to grab that dog. It looked like somebody's dog.
Well, the density
what I mean?
also
Like-
helps because like you'll just get responded to faster.
Well, and look, let's keep it a buck. I have coyotes in my neighborhood. Like
Oh, well,
literally
yeah.
at night, I will drive down Grand Boulevard, and there will be like pairs of coyotes on either side. And I'm not being hyperbolic.
No, trust me. In Detroit, it's always good to see a good coyote.
D.E. Gifford, lots of weddings at Rust Belt, no hotels close besides downtown Royal Oak. Yeah, there are a lot of weddings. That is a good point. So I feel like that's the kind of thing where you could figure something out with, since there are so many things at that venue. There's a lot of things happening in Ferndale. You could do something creative.
But
you could build
once
something.
again, see, I'm glad we're not on the official show, so I can say this. This is how redlining and racism harms even white folks too, right? Because again, Royal Oak, Ferndale, traditionally predominantly white suburbs. The reason you don't have that is because that density was planned away so black people could not live there. Flat out. You would have hotels. You would have these different amenities. You would have apartments. You would have all that stuff. But because all of that was deliberately planned out so certain types of people couldn't live there.
And let's remember that although Ferndale and that et cetera area is a lot more inclusive than it was, let us
I'm
remember
talking
that
about in the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Well, you have to remember the founders of Ferndale raced to the courthouse
Yep.
to create that city so that Detroit wouldn't annex it.
Annex it. Yep.
They raced to the courthouse because things were different back then.
Yep.
So yeah, I do agree. And it would be great to have somewhere to stay over there. There's so much like density potential over
Yeah.
there along that whole Woodward corridor.
Well, and the reason why I brought that up is because now it is more difficult to do things like hotels and high density apartment units and stuff because now you got to knock stuff down to build that stuff.
This might be opening up a can of worms, but I could make the argument, not racially, but economically, that Ferndale's dealing with some gentrification issues.
Oh yeah, the whole "Don't Royal Out My Ferndale."
And the density and stress between single family homes and building more stuff, that's an undercovered story in our region because it doesn't have the flashpoint that the racial issue does, so it doesn't get as much wider traction.
Yeah, but it very much. I mean, Ferndale definitely used to be like where friends my age got starter homes, or definitely those who were of the LGBTQ community, of which it is even just slightly less of that in Ferndale now, because now that was a place where people could afford homes, and now all those homes are taken up.
Stina says there are retail spots in that building on Iron Street still.
Fantastic.
Mr. 1213 went to AM Buzz Coffee Shop the other day, disappointed on the lack of electrical outlets they had to plug in laptops or tablets into. I noticed that when we did our review. I agree because they have an area that's a center that has no plugs. If people don't know, let's set the table a little bit. AM Buzz Coffee Shop in the Cambria,
Yes,
downtown Detroit, right next to my old stomping ground at WDIV.
that's right.
Channel 4.
Channel 4.
Go for it. Anyway, I'm of that era. So, AM Buzz, I agree with you. That's a challenge with a lot of these coffee shops. Especially when you have like the center thing and you don't do electrical work underneath to create spots. But there were a lack of them on the other side. I really like having somewhere to charge my stuff. I'm going to give a shout out here to a place nowhere near there
Okay.
that is actually designed for it,
Okay.
for laptops. In fact, I talked to the owner and they said, we put in extra outlets.
For laptops.
Decent Detroit.
Decent. Yeah. That's
On
a good,
Kercheval.
that's a good call out.
Inside the city by Alter.
Yep.
Tons of outlets. He specifically said, if you're going to, as long as you buy coffee, come here and do it. In fact, I would say we are going to do some maybe coffee afternoons. Like if you are working on the east side or something,
Yeah, I should slide
meet us
over
up there.
there, yeah.
We should do a meetup over there.
Yeah.
But that is a place that is specifically, because you know what? The Roost recently talked about, we covered that, about no laptops. You can't do laptops at Cafe Souterre after 5. A lot of places
Congregation doesn't have enough either.
nowhere near enough.
Nowhere
you got to
near
come
enough.
charged.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. A lot of the coffee places, Railhook doesn't have enough.
Mr. 1213, how was the coffee though? How did you feel it was? Has it been holding up? Because it was holding up on opening day, but I haven't been there that often since. I would love to know how it's holding up.
I went there again. I think they I don't want to be this guy. I
Don't be this guy.
I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna be that guy.
They could be closer to the target.
They could be closer to. That's a good way to put it. They could be closer to the target. There's some tweaks I think they need to make.
Okay, but let me know, Mr. 1213. Let me know.
Yeah, that's what
I love that building though.
Oh,
Of
it's
course,
beautiful.
it used to be a studio.
studio. That that's why it's beautiful.
Come on. Let's see. Bat D2. Whitmer definitely trying to keep her head down. Unfortunately, the worst thing you can do under an authoritarian regime is nothing, according to experts in history.
This is facts. This is.
I'll let you cook.
This is facts, man. I've said it in many outlets, not just here, but this is facts. I'm very disappointed in the leadership. I'm actually very disappointed in the leadership from multiple people, not just her. But I've just been very disappointed in the leadership of this state, whether they be, totally complicit and completely cheering on some of this nonsense, or they've just, fell back. There's a few people who, I see them quite a bit, a few senators, a few people in the Michigan House and the State House that I think are really stepping up, that I think are doing their best to try to speak to it. I think about people like Stephanie Chang, for instance, who I think is pretty great.
Isn't she close to term limited out?
Yes.
Okay.
But making the most of her term.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, quite a few other people. Again, nobody's perfect. I'm not saying everybody's got the most perfect voting record in the world.
And nor are they going to have it.
And they're not going to have it. But
expecting perfection in your politicians is not something you should do.
Not the wave. But I do think, y'all, we got to just be honest here, man. What we're seeing is nonsense. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. I mean, listen, in Mr. 1213, I will say this as somebody who reports on what's going on in the political
Should we tell them your other
realm.
job?
It's fine. I can just say this and let that be that. But as somebody who is sort of embedded in what's going on in a lot of the politics here in the state, the thing with Duggan is losing a lot of steam. And I've said that his superpower needs to be that he can come with the story of Detroit and use that as his clarion call. But he's starting to lose that momentum because he is yet to really firmly come out against what's happening with ICE. And that is becoming a line in the sand for large swaths of the country.
And not just...
And the state, I should say, because he's running for governor.
And not just... that number now includes moderates.
Yeah, it's not just a hyper left. No,
right.
It's
Despite whatever social media, because I found it really interesting. The Argument had a great post recently about how different social media is actually built different as far as its political consumption. And it's really easy depending on what social media you're into. Like if you're an X-brain, you think everybody's right wing.
Yeah.
Right? Like each social network has its own funhouse mirror at this point. And so it's really easy to like fall into these engagement traps because this thing on the bridge, I can't let me look. I'm going to look and tell you right now how many people are messing with the post that I put up about this whole situation with the bridge. Okay? Because Facebook still has tons of juice. Okay?
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the thing here in Metro. We can joke about this, but
well, it's because Metro Detroit's aging.
All right, 65,000 people on Facebook alone for my post about the bridge. Many of them it's definitely not reflective of the general public.
No.
Or our listenership in any way, shape, or form.
No.
But to see the size of those things, it's really, you got to be careful on what you use for signals.
No, absolutely. But, to Bat D2's point, I think the leadership are meeting the moment. But the reason why I brought up Duggan is to say that, yeah, if his play is to try to ride the fence and play the middle and say I'm the guy that can bring both parties together, people don't want to be together on this. On this issue, sure, we could bring people together on the economy. We could bring people together on rebuilding our relationships internationally. But on the subject of ICE and immigration enforcement, people do not want to be on the same page, at least on the brand of enforcement we're seeing now.
Look, I've been early on some of the stuff in regards to Duggan and making some moves other people couldn't. I think he is a serious candidate. However, the challenge that an independent candidate has that he needs to meet in this moment is that you have to stand for something, right? You do still have, you can't just be like, I'm in the middle. You can't just say both. You have to also say what I affirmatively believe.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this. And sometimes that means people are going to come with you, or they will maybe not agree with your statement, but still be with you because they respect that you tell it how it is.
Yeah.
And you have that unique freedom. And he's like that. And he was like that when he was mayor of Detroit. And he should not lose that when running for governor.
Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, it's still fairly early on. I think the summer will be very telling, depending on, you know, what's going on in terms of the national conversation and where he stands. But to Stina's point here, I think that's really kind of a correct call. I think when you poll it nationally, it is becoming a moral issue. It is out of the realm of politics now. It is this the right thing to do? And I think, I mean, right now, last time I checked, he was at almost 28% approval rating on how he's handling the immigration
I was actually
situation.
looking up in some of my notes because I've been keeping up some of that stuff. Really
I think
quick.
that, and I think, you know, again, I took that poll with a grain of salt because I think I wouldn't necessarily consider that poll the most.
Okay, so here is a sweep on this one, a poll sweep.
Oh,
because
cool,
people
cool.
love polls, right? We've
Yeah,
learned
but
this
we
in the
like
data.
poll sweeps because that's more than one poll.
Right. So Data for Progress says ICE's favorability is 42% now.
Yeah.
So it's underwater,
That's underwater.
which is very different for many years because many people for a long time thought, okay, maybe we need to be careful on the border, but we don't.
Because
We were still going to support ICE. Let's Navigator Research early this month, 36% favorable, net negative 22. Marquette Law School, 60% disapproval.
sheesh.
NPR Marist released earlier this month, 65% of Americans disapprove of ICE performance.
I'm sorry, dude. You can't win elections with them kind of numbers. Not on the most viscerally visible issue that we have in the country right now.
Yeah, Stina says it's become a moral issue. It's not a political issue.
Yeah.
BAT D2 for Dems, you have to both fight for institutions, acknowledge that they institutions have failed as well. And that is kind of the problem, right? That is kind of the problem with some of the candidates is that they were a little bit too, everything's fine.
I don't want to necessarily say too many of them.
I would say in
everything's fine.
2024.
Oh yeah. 2024. Yeah, for sure. But now, you know, I think the situation has changed, and more so than that, it's visceral. We see it. Like you can't keep telling people to literally stop believing what they're seeing before they just stop listening to you.
Yeah. Like at some point, you lose the plot.
You
right?
lose the plot.
And I think that's a lot of what's happening now, you know, and it builds on each other, right? So somebody's saying all hockey is going to be stopped. What?
What are you talking about? Like,
Do you know what I mean? Like the once the veil breaks
yeah.
and you see somebody getting 10 slugs in their back, right? You can't deny it. And I was listening to a series of interviews of people who have changed their mind on this. And look, the reality is that a more conservative mindset, I'm not saying this is a negative, I'm saying this is the truth. A more conservative mindset really focuses on the world near you. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's just kind of the wiring.
Yeah.
Right? And I respect that and I understand that. So it makes it very personal to see that happen and you can see yourself in it. And I know you got a lot to say about that, right? I understand and you have every right to say a lot about it, right? And I hear you. I can hear you before you've even spoke.
I know. Go ahead. Please proceed.
But that is again, so I'm Myers-Briggs. I'm an ENTJ, right? I see things I try to see things as they are. And that is as they are for that group.
Yeah.
And I have learned trying to paste my beliefs does not work.
To me, it's not pasting beliefs. It's making your beliefs consistent. That's all it is.
I mean, I hear you.
It's about making the belief consistent. You can't sit around and say you just want law and order and people to follow the rules and people to just do things the right way and then literally see a group of people not doing things the right way and actually abducting and killing folks. How has everybody's heads not exploded
I hear you.
with the cognitive dissonance?
But I think there is a thing of where you're following this thing so much, whereas a lot of people are like tuning into season 6.
I disagree. I think what happened in Minnesota has actually made people pay a lot more attention than they.
No, I agree with you, but I'm just saying that like Minnesota brought people in season 6.
I see what you're saying.
Right? You and I are here since the pilot.
Facts. Maybe, but I never fault somebody for getting into the game later than me. I will never fault nobody for that. What I will fault people for is having the ability to have these conversations and choosing to willingly not have them. I will blame you for that.
Well, as always, your feedback is always welcome. The chat is absolutely great today. So great to see so many people out there. If you've got thoughts later on, shoot me a note, dailydetroit@gmail.com or 313-789-3211. And if you enjoy this, whether you're live or seeing us later, this is one of many things we do here at Daily Detroit. I want to talk for a minute about that, just for a second.
We do stuff.
I write 3 to 4 newsletters every week.
He working hard.
We produce 4 to 5 podcasts every week.
Working hard.
We also do this live stream.
Working hard.
And we do it with a tiny fraction
Little
of the
bit.
budget
So tiny.
anyone else does. Tiny fraction.
Itty bitty.
And we need your support. Patreon.com/dailydetroit to make sure that all these things happen. I know that things are tough out there. I know not everybody can swing it, but it really does make a difference for this independent media project that we are punching so far above our weight. You know, we're all balancing jobs, different things. We're making this thing go. I'm working 55, 60 hours a week.
Tell your rich friends about us.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us, please.
Yes. We'll you know what? Go to the Punch Key Day party.
That's what it is, man. And come rock with us. But ultimately, as Jared said, it's always great. We need your support. And listen, if you can't swing it at bare minimum, tell your friends about us, dailydetroit.com, as well as on social medias at Daily Detroit and on patreon.com/dailydetroit, where you can find all kinds of cool stuff. You get gifts and merch and, you know, just continue to support the product because we want to continue providing it.
Absolutely. Norris Howard, so good to see you.
Always good to be here.
Honored to be in the presence of royalty of the Prince of Brightmoor.
Oh, well, thank you. One of my loyal subjects.
If I'm on the east side, am I your
You're
subject?
not. You don't fall into my fiefdom.
Your fiefdom. All right. Well, I'm Jared Stays. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you. Remember that you are somebody, and we'll see you around Detroit.